being able to foil at a slow speed is just as important and just as useful as foiling at full speed. Little movements and small adjustments start to come into play, and being able to do this can make the difference between foiling around a gybe and controlling the stall as you slow down, or dropping back onto the water and becoming a normal windsurfer again. So you're getting a hang of foiling along, you've got a hang of control, you've realised and you've followed that the back foot takes me up and the front foot brings me down. As you start progressing towards your gybes, what I want you to start thinking about is about having two different speeds on the foil. This is my slow speed, very depowered, almost feels like I'm not moving. In fact, if I spin you around slightly, that's the speed I'm going past a windsurfer that's sitting in the water. You can see a windsurfer behind me now coming up towards me. Very slow speeds. And the reason that's so important, so useful, is when it comes to your foiling gybes, really having the detailed control of being able to slow the foil down and stay up on the foil can make the difference between dropping off the foil in the gybe or floating calmly around it. So to foil at slow speeds, the same basic principles apply as foiling at speed. Back foot brings me up, front foot brings me down. The difference I've got here is I'm trying to match the angle of attack, how flat or pointing up into the air the board and the foil are, to the power. So I'm deliberately trying to get the nose of the board a little bit higher than I'd usually like it to be. It's not that you don't need power, you just don't want to give too much power at this point, because if you give loads of power, of course, you go straight up into the air. So a lot of the power control comes from where I place the front hand on the boom to get about enough power. The back hand is there to guide it, give it a bit more when I need to, but if I move my front hand further forwards, whoa, it's much harder to stay on the foil. Front hands come further back, instantly a bit more power, and I can keep foiling. To be honest, I'm sure you're all windsurfers as well as foilers watching this. This is the same for normal windsurfing. If you want some power, bring your front hand back to the harness lines. If you want to plane out the exit of your gybes, get your front hand back to the harness line. Appear soon nearby me, and you'll see how much faster everyone else is going than me. In fact, if I spin you around slightly, that's the speed I'm going past a windsurfer that's sitting in the water. You can see a windsurfer behind me now coming up towards me. Very slow speeds. And the reason this is so key, as you come around a gybe and things start to go a little bit up and down with the foot change and a rig flip, having this slow skill in your pocket to pull out when you need to can be a saviour. It also works really well as I bear away and start to head downwind. This is a windy day, I'm very powered up, but on a broad reach, I'm going very, very slowly. Very slowly. Midway through a gybe. There's that skill coming in, nose is high, I'm still on the foil. And then I can reset back to my normal foiling once I've made it round the gybe. Other little tricks I'm using to stay on the foil whilst going so slowly is I'm very, very vertical on top of the board. I haven't leant back and committed like I would do if I'm more powered up blasting on a foil, or even further back if I'm on a fin. I'm very much on top of the board right now. As I'm fairly powered up, my back foot has moved a little bit more central on the board. I've still got control over the foil, but it's nowhere near as powered up as if I moved my fin further out and further back. Sorry, if I moved my foot further back and further out. How slow can I go? The other great skill that I've touched upon briefly there already for improving your jibes on the foil and your control and your balance and generally what's going on the foil is sailing one-handed. Can I get my front hand in a good position where I have enough power and my body over the foil that actually I don't need that backhand to do very much. It's there for the guidance, a little bit of extra power if I decide I need it, but most of the time all of the power and a lot of the control is coming through the placement of the front hand. Don't know what your sailing area is like, but today we've got some big old gusts coming through. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm on a 4.5 right now, and I think when I was rigging up this looked about right. I think right now I've got far too much sail. So up on the foil, that's a full speed windsurfer coming behind me. Usually I'd be matching their speed. Today she's cruising by me with no problem at all. So thanks for joining me on this slow motion ride today. And I hope next time you're out on your foils you can give it a go. Slow it down, it doesn't need to be full speed. Can we get the nose a little bit higher and match how much power to how much lift so that it feels like I'm not really moving at all. In fact, just as we finish, I'm about to go via a beginner here, and you'll probably just about see how slow I'm really going as I cruise by them.